Hello everyone, this is the Tarot Queen Jamila. I'm here to do the Law of Attraction Tarot spread for the Libra for the month of April 2016. So Law of Attraction is basically this. Your thoughts, more than anything, manifests what you get. Okay, so whatever you attract is what you're putting out there. It's also your actions, your reactions. If you're putting a bunch of negative energy out there for an extended amount of time, you're going to get back negativity. So that's just the way that it works. And people have been asking me about the deck that I'm using, and it's actually the Pagan Tarot deck. I love this deck. It's got some really beautiful illustrations. You can go to the link in the video description box. You can actually purchase this deck. It's wonderful. I love it. I get so much more from this deck. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call out to the spirits. When you have laryngitis, you have to exercise your voice afterwards and work on the swelling. And I've got swelling from allergies and stuff, so it's pretty bad, and I just have to keep drinking water, and I have to use a humidifier until I figure out what I'm going to do about these allergies. And I've been hoping it would just rain. And wash away some of this pollen. So anyway, yeah, there's actual pollen just falling outside, so it's not a surprise. So anyway, this is a 6-card spread. I think you're going to get a lot out of this, even though it's a generalized reading. For a more personalized reading, you can go to my website as well and purchase a reading. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the cards. It's not really necessary for me to say out loud what I'm wanting to ask, so I'm just going to shuffle and make it really quick, okay, because I think these videos are getting too long. I'm going to try to cut them down, so hopefully you guys will be happy with that. I've been having to kind of take it slow because of my voice, and it's been leading to longer readings, so I'm not doing that on purpose. I personally prefer for the uploads to be shorter because, that way. Okay, so this is going to be for the Libra, for the Law of Attraction. What are you attracting? Okay. What you want. What does the Libra want? Where is the Libra focused? Where is your focus taking you? And the last 2 cards are just advice and just things worth considering. Okay? And this is going to be for the month of April 2016. Alright, so I'm just going to cut. Okay, so Libra, you have some really amazing cards. I think you're going to get a lot out of this reading. Again, if you want a more personalized reading, definitely contact me, okay? So, card number 1 is like what's going on currently. Okay, so this is the card of deep thought or study. Okay, so you're searching for something. You are trying to build some sort of, this is like a The Three of Wands is like a collaboration. Okay, with the three, it actually is indicative of some sort of triangle. Okay, so it could be a relationship. It could be, just a business partnership. It could be an association. Is one of the things that I'm seeing for some of you Libras with this card. And it looks, with this card, the Three of Wands, the way that these cards read, this is doubt. This is you searching for answers to a question. There's definitely a burning question whenever I see this card, especially when I'm doing a love reading, which is why I love using these cards for love readings. This would be my go-to deck. This reminds me of a woman that is very, very insecure. Okay, and she's like scouring Facebook for answers, or the internet, instead of searching inward for the self-love. Okay, this person is sort of searching outward. Okay, and you can tell because the woman has on, it's obvious that she's at work. Okay, it looks like she works behind some sort of switchboard. And you can tell that her skirt is kind of revealing, which says a lot about the woman. Not that she's a bad person at all, but that she doesn't really have a lot of inward qualities. And I don't want to say this about Libra. I don't want to say that. I'm not saying inward qualities, but you're not aware that the qualities in human beings is what you are on the inside and not on the outside. Okay, so this is a card of self-doubt. Okay, now the Wands suit is all about your values, your identity, your morals. Okay, this is about the spiritual journey of the in today's world. So with the Three of Wands, this is where you're at right now. Okay, I can see that, or at least in April. I can see this experience happening for you. And so card number 2, you got the Seven of Wands. And this is what you want. Now, it's confusing to some people when a negative card comes up. Okay? It's confusing to people. They're like, well, how could I possibly want that? Well, you do want it because that's what you're putting out. So, of course, that's what you're going to get back. So, this is about being in a competitive situation. And you want to come out on top. Okay? So this is what you want. This is now keep in mind, guys, this is more of an introspection reading. This is not what's actually happening. This is your thoughts. And some of the cards are, and I'll tell you what that is, but this is introspection card number 2. What you want, what you secretly desire. And the Seven of Wands is a competitive situation that you want to come out on top of. And, this is also showing the self-doubt the fear, that you are experiencing, okay, as a result of that competitive situation. Now, we all find ourselves in competitive situations sometimes, okay? It's just the way that it is. We live in a competitive world, which is why the wands came up, okay? The fire energy of the Aries, the Sagittarius, the Leo is that of competition. So here's the thing. As long as you're being honest, maybe you'll come off on top. Maybe you'll just come off a better person altogether. Okay? Sometimes winning is learning a lesson. Okay? And with the Seven of Wands in this particular deck, because the artists, the tarot is all about the artist sometimes. Okay? This is the art that you see in the deck is so important. So you have to give credit to the artist and, go by their meanings, which is why you're seeing me with this tiny booklet. It's not that I don't know the meaning of the tarot. It's just that this is this book and I want to find out the Seven of Wands in the pagan deck. I wish I could pick up this candle and bring it over here. I need more light. Okay, sorry Libras. This video might be kind of long. I don't know. Okay, let me see if I can just get this candle closer. And it is burning hot. Okay, this is like probably the hottest candle that I've ever seen. And I just hope I don't knock it over. Okay, so the Seven of Wands in the Pagan Tarot deck is about confronting a difficult situation and knowing how to accept advice. And so this is a situation that, you may or may not come out of, but, knowing when to accept advice is either advice of someone that might be offering you some help with the situation, or just the advice of, sometimes you just need to, maybe take a step back and look at what you're involved with and see, this is, sometimes a difficult situation can be of your own making. I don't feel comfortable with this candle being this close to me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna sit that back there. Oh, see, this candle is like floating. There we go. And it's floated to the side and it's burning, and I might have to just put it out. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was way too much energy coming from that fire of that candle. So with the Seven of Wands, this is about knowing how to accept advice, meaning that maybe you're not on the right path. Okay? So it's something to consider. Okay? Card number 3. And also, just to let you know, this difficulty is what you are manifesting. You are in a difficult situation that is really wearing you down. Okay? This woman is not happy. If you look very close at her face, she's very worried. She's very defeated. And so you just got to consider, maybe this isn't the correct path for you. And so where you are focused, okay? So this is where you're focused, and you got the Five of Pentacles. So this is Indicative of some financial issues. Okay. This is someone at the bank. They're not doing very well financially. They're feeling very weary. Okay. And this focus that you're on is what's manifesting. For this to show up in this card, you are manifesting money problems or either chaos. It can be either money problems, chaos, sickness, anxiety, fear, okay, guilt. I mean, all of those things are in this Five of Pentacles, but it always points to money problems is what the Five of Pentacles. So for some of you, and again, this is a general reading, you have to get a more personalized reading, because I have to give you every possible, scenario based upon the outer laying cards and everything. And I can tell you that from the rest of the cards, this month is going to be very, very interesting for you, April. Okay. And see, here's the thing. You reap what you sow. And I learned that in life the hard way. And it took me years and years to learn that. And even though I knew it, I still was reaping what I sowed, because I was dealing with, crap that didn't, that wasn't, suiting me. So, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And that's the whole thing about it. Nobody likes a whiner. It's kind of like that, So, it's, if you tell yourself you're going to have money problems, you're going to have money problems. If you tell yourself that you're afraid of this, you're afraid. And see, all of these things have created this anxiety. This is the card of anxiety. This is a conflict with the material world, with the Pentacles. So you are not at one with the universe, some of you. This is economic dependency, depending on others. So your focus is this, and this is what you're manifesting. Okay, now this is where you're focused. You're focused on the problems. You're not focused on the solution or what you want to manifest. You're focused on the problem. Now, where your focus is taking you, you got the Four of Swords. So, the Four of Swords is all about rest and relaxation and rejuvenation and recuperation. Okay? And this is the best card that I've seen in this reading. This is a very good thing for you to do. For you to just sit back and chill and relax and protect yourself. But the best thing that you can do to protect yourself is to be honest with yourself. This particular reading is all about honesty. If for you to get the Five of Pentacles, and this is what you are focused on. And see, this is where this is going to lead you at the Four of Swords, which this is about drawing on all mental resources, searching for a solution to a problem. There's a problem. So you don't even have the solution. You're just thinking about the solution. Okay? The Four of Swords to me is the playing victim card, in my opinion. Sometimes when I see it, in some readings, depending on the other cards, I see this is playing victim. Because again, you get what you put out there. So if you are doing something to somebody and then they do it back, and for you to say, oh, well, I'm going to, lay here in the bed and draw my sword because you're so mean to me. Okay, but what about what you did to others? So right here is a woman under attack and she's protecting herself. The swords are symbolic of, spiritual protection. Okay, and so I mean, these are the things that you are manifesting, and I just have to be honest. I am very honest. I do provide spiritual counseling to my clients, and they have been very happy with the results. So this is something that I'm really familiar with. Sometimes this can, for some of you Libras, this indicates that someone that you care about may be away for a while. Sometimes in the hospital, maybe an illness. So someone around you is ill. Now, the Hierophant has some advice for you. We all know that the Hierophant is all about doing the right thing. No matter what. Honesty, no deception, showing integrity. Okay? And this is also a major arcana, so I see this as an opportunity to make a change, but the Hierophant is going to force you to. This card is another Judgment card, okay? And your last card is the Judgment card, but I'm going to focus on the Hierophant. You can see that there is just a bunch of chaos going on. This is actually what you're manifesting. Destructiveness. Okay? And this is symbolic of the destructiveness inside. So, and here's the thing. When you say you reap what you sow, Libra, what we mean by that, and I understand the Libra. I understand the Libra is constantly trying to balance. Constantly. This is a constant fight for the Libra. This is why you're the scales. Okay, so I have a deeper understanding of you than you know. More than you know. And so this is what makes Libras, such unique people. Because it is a struggle. So, April is usually a month where, this sort of foretells the whole year. So the seeds that you lay down are the ones that you're going to sow. And depending on how you nurture those seeds, because this is, the time of the year, we've got the spring equinox coming up. So April, you should be cleaning out baggage. I know for some reason, I just began to clean, and more cleaning. Okay? Out with the old, in with the new. And so, this is a month where I'm seeing a lot, I've seen a lot of just, bad habits and things that need to be banished from people, from some of the zodiac, from some of the signs. This one is pretty straightforward. Okay, so the Hierophant is basically saying do the right thing. And then here's the Judgment. So there's some pretty heavily loaded things going on. Definitely some conflict, especially with the 5. The one thing I want to tell you about the 5 of Pentacles is that in spite of the issues that you're facing, okay, I want to show you something that you probably can't really see. I love this card. Okay, you can see the woman in the bank. She's very upset. She's just feeling defeated. Okay, but what you can see out of the bank's window is a church. You see that? I think it's a beautiful, breathtaking depiction of the 5 of Pentacles, because this is traditional in the tarot for the 5 of Pentacles to show some sort of difficulty, not just financial, but anxiety and fear and running from yourself is what this is symbolic of, which is why there's always some sort of spiritual figure or church, meaning that you cannot do this alone. You know, whatever it is that you're going through, you need some sort of spiritual guidance. You're in need of spiritual guidance yourself right now. No matter who you are, no matter how important you think you are. Okay? Let's look at the Judgment card. Now, obviously, this is a very heavily loaded card. And by the way, that Hierophant, which is some advice or a comment. So that's a major arcana. I didn't really get to tell you about the Hierophant. This is symbolic of a major life event that's coming up for you. Fear that comes from awareness of being different and the need for equilibrium with society. So that's what that Hierophant, just to explore like a deeper meaning of it. Fear of being different. And, you know, fear of being different is so real. Because we see a lot of people, especially people on social media, that are afraid to admit certain things about themselves. And it creates a toxic environment. Because this is what you get. Okay, you get chaos, you get worry. So this is the Judgment card right here. The Judgment card can mean a lot of things. It's definitely a major arcana that you want to consider. There's going to be an opportunity to make a decision or make some sort of change. For some of you Libras, this could point to you jumping to conclusions or making a decision too fast. Okay, so this is you not making the right decision. This could possibly be a spiritual awakening for you, but only if you are willing to, you know, receive it. You know, just going a little bit deeper into this card with the Judgment card. This is about, you know, making a decision about something. You know, it can be a relationship. You know, it can be, you know, maybe the other way around. It could be either you Libra or vice versa. Okay, this is the major arcana card about jumping to conclusions too hastily and not being given a chance. So there's going to be some sort of judgment. And, you know, this is a very spiritual card because not only that, it's about, unlike the Death or the Tower, it is not sudden change, okay? But change that springs from reason. It signifies plans, often long in the making, coming to fruition. Okay? So for some of you Libras out there, whatever plans you've been making are going to come into fruition. So this can actually be a positive card for you. Okay, because there's definitely going to be some very deep spiritual changes that are going to be upon you, and they're going to, you know, cause some, you know, some things to happen. And basically what it means is you reap what you sow. So depending on what you end up, you know, the law of attraction, whatever you put out, you're going to get back. So what this card means is the fruits of your decisions are coming and you will receive that which you deserve. The path at your feet and the direction it is leading you are clear. So a lot of things are going to be made clear for you in April, Libra. You will see your ultimate desire through to the end. So whatever it is that you are manifesting is what you're going to get. And also whatever it is that you deserve. So this is a very heavily loaded karmic card. There's a lot going on in the background. There's this woman. And you can clearly see that she's ill. And there's another woman, you know, possibly, you know, some sort of spiritual worker who is praying over her. You know, it looks kind of like she's getting a reading. And, you know, all of these things are floating above her. There's people hanging. There's, you know, burning buildings and stuff, you know. So this is, you know, some sort of you know, you know, change that's going to have to happen. Okay, otherwise these things are just going to continue to manifest. Now, in the Pagan Tarot deck, the Judgment card is reviewing your past. Okay, so for some of you, you're going to be looking into some past life history to figure out what's going on, to figure out what is the cause of, you know, the things that you're manifesting. So you're going to do a lot of deep introspection in the month of April. Okay. Once you start looking at your past life, you can figure out, you know, what's happening with this and that and what's going on with this karmic tie and that one and why are you manifesting this and that. You're going to realize, you know, it has a lot to do with karma that you're already carrying with you. Okay. This is also a conclusion. So this is the end of something. You know, a decision is going to be made and that's it. The end of a story. And also past lives. So this is a very deeply spiritual card. Okay, this is getting to know self. And, you know, we can take it as, you know, it's either or. You know, it looks like she's getting a reading, but it also sort of looks like she's got some sort of sickness that she's carrying with her from her past life or from her past. It may not be a past life. It might just be from childhood or maybe, you know, somewhere along the lines. So that's going to conclude your Law of Attraction reading for the month of April. Libra. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that this reading helped some of you. If you want a more personalized reading, the link to my website is in the video description box. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you thumbs up this video and you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.